Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? I just checked the price on EOS. I believe it's up almost 8% in one day. So this is really crazy returns. I mean, not crazy, but these are extraordinary returns, amazing returns, and 8% in one day. And some people look at that as a mediocre day, which it probably is. But anyway, I mean, somebody asked me, I think this video or the video before this, what my background is. I was a stockbroker in the 1980s, so I'm pretty used to seeing returns. And I can tell you that we never had returns like this back when I was a broker. Even on some of the most, the hottest deals there were, you never got returns like this. So this is pretty amazing stuff. So we're in amazing times, amazing stuff happening, amazing technology, exciting, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to talk about it, and I enjoy it so much. And then after the 1980s, I went to law school in the 1990s. Then after that, I became a web developer. Actually started an e-commerce website, ran that to 2008. And then 2008, we transitioned to web design, internet marketing, and all that good stuff. So that's what I've been doing ever since. But like I say, I don't think anybody has the perfect background for blockchain because it is new technology. So I want to talk a little bit tonight about the Dawn 4.0. And this is just another thing about EOS that I love so much, is how innovative they are and how innovative some of the stuff they're doing is. And one of the things that they're doing that's so innovative is that they're creating a secondary market for the RAM. So they've decided that if you're a stakeholder in EOS, you own the token, but you're not going to participate on the platform. You're not building anything. You're not going to create an app or anything like that. Well, you're going to have resources, and those resources are going to be able to have a market for those resources. You're going to own tokens, and you're going to own RAM. And in the first Dawn 3.0, they only had a way for, if you wanted to negotiate your RAM, you could only get for whatever it is you pay for. Well, now they realize that there's a secondary market for this. And the secondary market is an ability for you to be able to benefit again by owning EOS, owning the platform, owning the real estate. So the secondary market is an incredible way for you to benefit again by owning the token, which is what I've been talking about for a long time. And the really amazing thing about this is the way the market's set up for the RAM, which is a Bancor algorithm. Bancor algorithm is another amazing, what can I say? I can't even say, how incredible this stuff is. It's an amazing technology that literally is going to change everything in our world. Everything in our lives is going to change on stuff like the Bancor algorithm. Let me just see if I can explain it simply. What the Bancor algorithm is in a normal transaction, you have a buyer and you have a seller, and there's a lot of variables involved in negotiating a price and how all that plays out in a transaction. In the Bancor algorithm, let's just say you're a seller and you have something to sell, and let's just forget about the buyer. There is no buyer in this case with the Bancor algorithm. There's just a seller. But in the buyer, there's actually a piece of code that negotiates all the variables of the other side of the transaction. So it's the perfect transaction because the code actually designs or creates the price or the market, because it's a unilateral contract instead of a bilateral contract. It's unilateral because the other side of the contract is already determined by code. So because it takes the resources, it takes all the things that create the contract, all the things that create the variables in a contract, and it already predicts those, or already pre-measures those, or already has a pre-result, so you get the perfect price, the perfect negotiation, without the third party involved, without all the restraints of negotiating and deciding and what it is that this is, So this is all decided based on how the RAM is being distributed and how the RAM is being used on the platform. Incredible stuff. And this Bancor algorithm literally will be something in the future that will negotiate all contracts through smart contracts. So if you don't think this is something that is going to change business and the world, think again. Because something like an algorithm that can negotiate both sides of a contract without any intervention is really, you know, the technology's there. It's just that people can't put their minds around it, and they just can't understand it yet, because it is just so revolutionary. And it really is. It's when literally the code negotiates the contract on both sides, or the code negotiates the contract based on all the variables of everything that's involved in the transaction, resources, scarcity. All these things are already pre-predicted by the contract, pre-thought out by the contract, and now it's just a matter of the contract, or the code, doing the process of making the exchange, or making the resource available, making the resource happen, make the transaction happen. So anyway, this is stuff that's kind of beyond most of where we are as far as what we think about on a daily basis. And this is the kind of stuff that's happening. This is the kind of stuff that's going to happen. And this is the kind of stuff that's taking place right now, and will be taking place very shortly on the blockchain. Like I say, just exciting times. It's just exciting times. Amazing stuff taking place. So anyway, Dawn 3.0, or 4.0. We're 3.0 now, we're 4.0. So anyway, the release is coming up very quickly. I think there's going to be some amazing things happen with the price. I think the price is definitely going higher. And the other thing I want to talk about, because I was a broker for a number of years, this thing with Ethereum and the SEC taking a look at it, I'm kind of skeptical of that any of that's even going on. I mean, I read stuff on Reddit about that, and I went to the SEC, tried to do some internet web searches on that and look at that kind of stuff, and I'm kind of skeptical that any of that's even taking place right now. So anyway, very interesting stuff. I mean, I actually read that Ethereum's gone down based on that. And I think it's just a rumor. I mean, I couldn't find anything very concrete about it. So anyway, really interesting, fascinating stuff. And I'm just going to keep you posted, because it just keeps getting better and better every day. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.